Other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud. After they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Coleman on the toss. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in. In the backfield.
Tackled back at the 46-yard line.
Ready. Get your plan. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Love. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Can't. Flu draw corkers. No.
Following the interception, Cousins. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And down. To the 29-yard line.
Complete to Tajay Sharp. A gain of 15. And the Vikings first down.
On first down, it's Cook. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 24-yard line.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Complete, Smith has it. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
First down, Minnesota.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Cousins dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On third down, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. They'll run with Cook. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they're able to double their lead just before half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Let's go. First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Looking to throw. Love on the screen. This is Coleman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Second and 13. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. So a couple of field goals, that's all we've been able to muster through 2 quarters of play. 6-0 is our count at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They are in the second quarter down in Miami. It's the Dolphins that have jumped out to the early lead against the Patriots. And we'll try and keep you updated on those. Events and others around the league as we continue through this one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. So it would appear they will not be able to add to their lead on this opening drive of the second half.
Yeah, if another touchdown was scored there, now we're talking about a 2-score game, and they're probably on their way, creating an excellent gap between them and their pursuers. But how about the defense there, able to step up and keep themselves in this one?
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Now they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Back to throw. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Again, it's Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Kevin King, the former Washington Husky, there defensively. This defense trying to do its part, active hands on that play, but their offense hasn't given them much to work with.
So they're not going to worry about it. On their side of the ball, all they're concerned about, can they create some scoring opportunities and help out that offense?
Here's Britton Colquitt now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They will run again with Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Mark 50, Mark 50, Mark 50.
On third down, Love. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Their defense has pitched the shutout. Now they probably need to deliver a little breathing room, maybe make it a 2-score game as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 26-yard line.
He's lucky 48. We got double up.
Throwing on 2nd down. Cousins. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And that's going to do it. Clock hits zeros. They're not going to get another playoff. Time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They run, Cook, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins, that one into the hands of Thielen, complete. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
You go. You got it.
The Vikings on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Kill. Hey, we're good. We're good. Kill. Gun. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers.
Now Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to the ground. Cook. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. To throw is Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, you got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Cousins to throw it. And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we were talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. To throw again. Love got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 13 yards, 1st down Packers. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the fourth quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to...
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Danielle Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Operating from the gun, Love. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. They run it again with Cook. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Throwing is Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Cousins now 13 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Now Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Cousins. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. From the red zone now, Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Cousins. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and